yet, but I think you kind of mentioned this last year when people start talking about expectation. You look at all the preseason polls and whatnot. So you guys are pretty high up there, and really all of them. That's something you welcome. You welcome that kind of focus, attention on this group right now.
Yeah, I mean, that just means you got a chance to be good, right? I mean, that's what all the preseason hype means. Now you got to go do it. But, it's our league. You're not going to hide anywhere in this league. If people think you're supposed to be good, they're gonna give you publicity and so forth. I don't know that you can ever say anybody in the SEC's ever been an underdog. So it's not like you're going to hide. So you better get used to it, right? You better. I've said for a long time, I've been in this league for a while, you play the toughest schedule no matter what the schedules. Play just because you are in this league and you're playing the midweek against whoever, and if they can beat you, that's their signature win for the year. They can say they beat an SEC team. And so, yeah, you better get used to the target a little bit if you're going to be good in this league, and hopefully we can go out and play well.
With a week to go now before the opening weekend, as far as practice, where does the focus kind of shift now from you and your coach's standpoint?
Yeah, now we're going to get a little more. It's going to be. You hate to drive results as hard as you have to in our game, but things now are going to be result oriented. At the plate, like we're really looking to see if what guys are doing. We'll emphasize two strikes a little more from their approach. On the pitching side, though, it'll still just be about getting guys stretched out. It'll be one of those things. We had one happen the other day. We had a 13-pitch at bat, and the guy got 2 outs, and I just rolled the inning, not because he was doing anything wrong, just because I needed him to go back out for another inning. His pitch count wasn't where it needed to be. So we'll still have a little of that this weekend as far as from your pitching staff. But, boy, those position players, man, we're looking at 2 strike at bats. If you get there, how's the approach against the pitcher you're facing? Are you able to execute that plan? Like, we're really game planning actually for our guys, meaning our pitching staff these next 4 days.
Yeah, I know we don't talk much about outfield defense per se, but you look at the three guys, McCarthy and Devin and Burnett, what they bring from a defensive perspective a long way. Everybody knows what they can do with a bat, but from the defensive spot, this is pretty good outfit you have right now.
Yeah, I think there'll be times this year that, from a defensive perspective, we'll have the best, in our league. You guys know I love Corey Collins. He was here last year. I don't think we'll ever have a Corey Collins in left field. When we had to put Corey out there a couple times last year, because of injuries and so forth. But yeah, I feel really good at even if we move Robbie into the infield and play him at a second, the other options that we have out there are really, really, really good defenders.
So Robbie can play some second base.
Oh, you can see Robbie at second as well.
Okay.
Coach, how much does analytics and new technology play into how you construct your lineup and use your pitching staff?
That's everything for us. We don't do anything subjectively here. So everything we do is going to be based on numbers and matchups. As we constructed this roster, as I've said, part of the construction of this roster from an offensive standpoint was the ability to have different lineups and matchup and guys play different positions. So yeah, you will see a 95% lineup construction of analytics.
What kind of impact has the construction here at Foley had on you guys in terms of getting prepared for this season?
Yeah, it's with anything, right? It's great that we're doing it, but there were a couple of days, I always use the basketball analogy, right? Great players, the NCAA boxes all of us in on time. But the great players and the great teams, it's really about the shots that basketball players getting up after practice, in the gym. Is he putting up 500 more shots or whatever? And that's the same way with our game, the hitting. So there was a couple of days that, we lost to that, meaning the extra shots to the construction, but I still feel we're going to be ready and prepared.
Coach, what are you expecting out of this freshman class? How quickly do these guys make an impact for you? I know they've been here for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about the 5 freshmen we have right now. I think you'll see all of them. They're all going to get opportunity. Our league's typically an older league, and older players do well and progress. But you look at Trey Phelps last year, was a freshman we had. The five true freshmen we have all made a very, very big impact on us, and you'll see all of them. But I mean, they're going to get opportunity, and here, we don't care how old you are. Just you want to go play, When you get your opportunity, you make the most of it. But they're going to get it.
Obviously, you got 2 preseason All-Americans. How important are those 2 guys with this team and what you guys do this season?
Yeah, the biggest thing, you look at the great teams, that end up the season great in our league, they stay healthy for the most part, and we need those guys to stay.
Hey, this is Poppy from the Baseball Prospect Journal. Last year you said that a key to instilling confidence in your players is to tell them to remember differently, remember at bats differently.
Absolutely.
How do you continue telling them to remember differently when they know that analytics now are such a big part of the game at the same time?
Well, results will take care of themselves if your routine's right. And, it's having the mindset of, the majority of our players are at such a high level, athletically. Even if you strike out, you did something right in that at bat. You may have missed your pitch, but, when you start to look at analytics, that's one of the things I talk to our players about is how, when you have failure, so to speak, as people with, what did you do right? It's easy. We all know, a person comes to a game and you strike out. And it's their first game, and the crowd goes, oh, well, they know that's bad. So, it doesn't take a lot to understand a strikeout's bad. But during that strikeout, for example, what did you do right? Was your plan good? Did you have a good on-deck preparation? All of those things. If those things take care of themselves, those analytical results, they'll start to take care of themselves.
Trey about Slade Alford. I mean, maybe a little bit surprised he did not get drafted last year. I know he was a little bit disappointed in that. What was kind of conversation with you and him about coming back this year and what he needed to focus on?
Yeah, Slade he didn't get drafted. He had opportunity to go play. I don't want to get into all that, sure. But he could have signed. I think now it's kind of that chip on his shoulder. He's come back. He wants to show people that he can do it in this league again. And then there's going to be no doubt about his opportunity in professional baseball. So it was a little more of, hey, I got a chip on my shoulder. I want to show some people that I can get a little faster. If you think that's what I need to do, I can, not chase as much at the plate if that's what you need me to do. And then, next year, or meaning this year, there's going to be no doubt.
How's Ryan Black in his hand doing? Did he ever throw okay?
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. He's 100% now. We got to get his timing and everything back to 100%. Hand injuries don't. You can come back from them fast. But then the other piece of that is now you got to get back into baseball shape, so to speak. He's getting close. I wouldn't say he's all the way there yet, though.
He'll be ready for the first weekend. He's still on.
We're going to try. We'll see. I think this week is a big week for him. I'll compare and contrast. I don't know. I mean, obviously everybody remembers Corey Collins' opening weekend last year, or season last. He didn't play hardly at all opening weekend. Matter of fact, even to the point when we go to Kentucky SEC weekend and he plays the first 2 and we couldn't play in the third game. The hands and shoulders with hitters are a little wonky. And so, we'll have to see where Ryan is. That'll be more, like I say, after this weekend I'll be able to tell.
Wes, as far as building this team, when did it start? Did this year's team start getting built last year? And then in terms of the recruiting pitch, how important was Trey's year to selling the freshmen? How important was the results?
Yeah, no, you better start building right now for next year. If you're not, you're going to get left behind. So we had a really good idea. We knew we were going to have to, quote unquote, moneyball it. You're never going to replace Charlie Condon. You're never going to replace Corey Collins. But can you recreate them and distribute it more through 1 through 9 as opposed to being so top heavy? And so we immediately started. We knew that. We knew that this time last year. Now we do it. Corey, we knew he was going to be good if we could get him healthy. And we just didn't know that, at the time when the season started, and how he was going to progress and so forth. And, obviously, thank goodness he got healthy. But we knew we were going to have to replace 2 big cogs in that wheel, and we weren't going to be able to do it by going out and finding 2 players like them. It was just not.
Time for one more.
And then
Coach.
As far as just what you guys accomplished last year, how much did that come up when you were trying to get some of these top players that you've landed? I mean, what did they reflect on in terms of why they're coming to Georgia, why they're playing for you?
Yeah, no, I think the biggest pieces were, they saw the development of some guys. We use a very a complex system of showing players how they get better without getting into everything there. We were breaking that down, and that's, at the end of the day, these guys, yes, they're going into the portal. They want different things. but most of them want a chance to play professional baseball. And you look at some of the player values that we brought up last year, and we sold that, and we're able to talk about it. And then, you know, obviously, you're able to talk to the guys about, you know, Trey Phillips. You're able to talk about pitchers. You guys, you know, I said it last year. We only had, when I took this job, we had 3 guys on the roster and thrown 5 innings in a game. And one of those was Charlie Goldstein, and the other 2 had only done it 1 time. So, you know, you're able to look at a pitcher and say, hey, we took Leighton Finley and started him and stretched him into a starter, and Colton Smith was able to stretch him into a starter. So those are the things you reflect on.
So, Coach.
Thanks, guys.